Hello, and welcome back to Common Sense for Relationships. Yay! Yes, don't worry. Today, we're not dragging anything at the beginning of the show, but I can assure you that there'll be a lot to be dragged later. Okay, my name is Anietie Bature. I'm a relationship coach, and it's a pleasure to have you join us on this live show today. And with me in the studio are some wonderful people. First of all, my darling husband and friend of many years, Kingsley Bature.
Hello, everyone. And I'm glad to be on the show. If you can hear me, please type in the chat 111. We are live. I'm ready to go. She is a relationship coach, wife, mother of three, engineer, full-time employed engineer, author of 2 books, and she's also a singist, right? She sings both gospel music and inspirational music. Do you understand? So she has a lot of things in her repertoire. So I don't like it when you just introduce yourself like, I'm just a relationship coach. You think you're all these social media people that just have
something to say.
Well, no, they just have what's that thing? That light. What they call that?
Ring light.
They just have ring.
Now dust their ring light.
Yes. Just so you are not.
I know that particular one.
So you are not a ring light relationship coach. You are a seasoned practitioner, just like my humble self. I'm one of those people that are humbly proud or proudly humble, however you put it. Right. I am a licensed family life practitioner, a coach, a mentor to many, a husband to 1. Do you understand? A father to 3.
It's the numbers.
All right, and then I'm a businessman. We like to talk about, so in a small business idea,
Oh, yes.
We can talk about container on another high sea, and then we can take it from there. Yes, okay. So let me hand it over.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yoma, this.
I wish I had someone to introduce me.
I was going to say, Yoma, wouldn't you like someone to introduce you like that? Don't mind.
KJ.
I'm coming for you.
Hi guys. So in the absence of someone to introduce me, I will be introducing myself. My name is Yoma Ogidiama. I am an interior designer.
Yeah.
I am a civil engineer. I am a minister of the gospel, actually. I
Glory
should
to
start
God.
getting proud
Yeah.
of that. I am a mother to some that are not here yet. Let's put that.
Yes.
And I am a wife to be of 1.
Okay, awesome.
Glory.
KJ.
Okay, my name is Kingsley Toby. In the absence of someone to also introduce me, I'll introduce myself. My name is Kingsley Toby, like I said, a husband to none, a father to none, a proud single man, hoping to get married one day. I'm a human resource consultant. I studied international studies, so yes, I can call myself a diplomat as well. Yes.
Blow your trumpet, my guy.
Exactly. I'm a business manager, a social media manager, and a digital marketer. Yes, that's me.
I didn't know you were a social media manager.
Well, you see, you don't ask questions.
Hey!
Single. Ask questions.
That's why she's still single. Are we going there right now?
A stressful day, KG. Why today?
Are we going there already?
Did you
I
see?
feel like KG has learned from me.
Yes.
And then he now
it's
multiplied
called
and then he's sending the missile
yes,
to me.
It's called principle of first attack. So
Exactly.
before we recover, yes.
I have gone far.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't even know how to catch
All
up.
right. So, yes. So today, we are going to... maybe that is where KJ is coming from.
Where?
The topic for today is almost a relationship.
Child. Child.
Almost. Situationship and others. Almost a relationship. That's what we're looking at. You know? So I'm wondering whether maybe KJ is coming from that direction of almost a marriage or something. I'm not quite sure if that's what's going on here. That's why you're attacking. Mind yourself, KJ. Okay, so today it is 4 of us against the world. if you look for your man's trouble, I'm coming for you.
No problem.
Somebody has to look out for me.
Yes. Okay, all right, so let's go. Situationship. I think I want to read a definition that I found, okay, for situationship. Okay. Then right after I read it, then we'll now get into the gist, okay, of situationship, and then we can start talking about all the things that we have to say. But before we go further, I'd like to say welcome to our wonderful viewers, all of you who have joined us today. You know, if we just sit here and talk and nobody joins us, then we do not have a show. But then when you come and you join us and you listen and you draw value from this and you apply it to your lives and things get better, yes, that is when we feel fulfilled. Yes, because what we are doing has achieved its purpose. So thank you so much for joining us each time you do. We are very grateful for that. I would like to ask you to like, as we go through the show, like, and then after you have liked, just be sending us those hearts. Just give us the feedback. Let's know, yes, you're getting value from this. And if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, I encourage you to do so. And don't just stop at subscribing. Also, click on that bell so that you get the notifications anytime something new comes from us. Yes. And then, please share the link with everyone that you know that is in a relationship that needs this information, you know, and that probably is in a situationship. Because you know there's a way that you see people and you identify that they're in a situationship, but they themselves
don't know.
do not know.
Wow.
Okay, so
no, but I'm coming. Is that actually possible?
Yeah, I think anything is possible in this generation right now.
If you don't sit down and think of it, and if you don't even know what situationship is, how will you know that you're in one?
Yeah,
Do you understand?
really
You may just feel, oh, it's just a phase, and we're on the way. We're in progress. We'll soon get there. You know, you have different ways of explaining what it is you're doing. But let me give you a little idea, right, of what situationship is.
But before you do that, I want to read some comments on YouTube.
Okay.
By the way, we are streaming live on YouTube and we're streaming live on Facebook. Our Facebook people, we have our Facebook community has been away for just a bit because we are trying some things, you know, so that we can better reach you. Do you get? So on Facebook, please, if you're there on Facebook, just give us 111 in the chat box so that we can see you and celebrate you. On YouTube, I hear Jimoski says, "What a nice way to market your wife. I will send your credentials to a marketing firm." George says, "Coachila la. Those other people should introduce themselves," which they have done.
We've tried our best.
Kingsley says, "George, you don't already start Basbos already." George, say, quick, oh. We know they let them land. So somebody is asking, please, Yoma, please answer. Is Yoma taken or reserved? So
you see?
It's a good question. KJ, they find who go introduce them. When him mates, they introduce people.
That person, please, let me do it.
Hello, George. It's George, It's George. No problem. I'm coming for him.
He's my back. He's my brother.
Don't worry, I'm coming for him. George, I know where to get you.
You've gotten really
bold.
aggressive.
Yes.
Can't even see how he's sitting down.
Yes.
When this elbow is like this, let's
The
drop
violence,
it.
they say, take it by force.
Okay.
So we are not here to play.
Okay, all right. So let's go. Situationship.
Yes.
A situationship is a relationship or romantic or sexual relationship that lacks clear labels, commitment, or long-term expectations. Okay? It's more than a casual fling, but not quite an official relationship. Okay? people in a situationship often act like they are dating, spending time together, being affectionate, even being exclusive, without having a defined status or future plan. So, some things that are clear indicators of situationship. There's a lack of clarity in the relationship. Communication is inconsistent because people haven't defined what it is. Today, you are friend. Tomorrow, you are colleague. Another day, you are sweetheart. Which introduction are you going to work with, right? Communication is inconsistent. Emotional ambiguity is also something that you find. You can't quite say, what does this person really think about me? Sometimes you say, I love you. They say, I feel you. Some other times you say, I love you. They say, I love you back. Which one is it really, And then, of course, convenience is what is the order of the day rather than commitment. Okay, so, the floor is open.
That's a lot to unpack. So who will take the first swipe at it?
You might think you have more experience in this situation. Or I think, I'm not saying for certain.
The things I tell you in private, you really
No, did you say this one in private?
I said it in private.
Honestly, honestly.
You didn't
Honestly. Okay, but since we've let the cat out of the bag.
All he just wants is for me to just speak. That's all.
Share your experience. There are people there that would want to learn. What was situationship like for you?
Oh my goodness.
How did you come out of it?
Look, see.
Okay, so I've actually been in a situationship before. I'm not proud of it, but yeah, I have. So so there was this guy. So you understand why I was in that situation if I tell you the story. So there was this guy. We were working together. He's not going to watch this, so he's not going to know. And he really liked me. Really, 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 really. Like, everybody was just like, this guy likes you. But I was in a relationship. I'm a very committed person. When I'm with someone, I'm with that person. Okay. So I was in a relationship. He's a very fine boy and he's smart, like extremely smart. And I like smart guys. And he's a Christian. He loves God. So why not? But I had someone else. So the only reason why I did not, look in his direction was because I had someone else. But there was just this sad thing going on, like, I wish everybody in the office is like, you guys make such a good couple. I'm like, I have someone else. In fact, people even came and were like, do you know what this other person is doing? Because at the time, the person I was dating was not in Lagos. So, how about, just trying to bring up. So, there was a lot of pressure on me, right? I'm not going, there's nothing you do. If I'm in a relationship, that's it. I don't used to even reason, So, much later, after we had broken up and we were both single, I had left, I had started my own firm. I ran into this guy one day. I went to Bogobiri. Do you know Bogobiri?
No.
Yeah, Bogobiri is like a music place. There's food and drinks. So I went there. I just made my braids. I was looking really good.
Divine orchestration.
And then, I'm telling you. Well, I don't know. Right now, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Anyways, I went in there, and guess who I ran into?
Wow, the love of your life.
And I don't know what happened, Sha, but I ended up in a situationship. I don't know how, because next thing, and at the time I'm single, and this guy, gosh, he knew the things to do. Like, when you've been going, you've been going through different people coming, and they're just like, sometimes you're even asking God, God, what's up now? Like, maybe we need someone to help these men, because you just be seeing things. Like, somebody will tell you they like you, and do you understand? And you're like, is this how to like somebody? So when I met this, I'm just trying to defend myself, right? So when I ran into
the guy
him,
knew how to like you.
He knew how to. Like, I literally have a flat tire. Flat tire. There are people to fix it. He's like, no, don't touch it. Just wait for me.
Those little things.
And people be like, madam, I'm not going to fix it. I say,
my whatever. My situation.
My situation is coming.
My situation is coming.
I didn't even pause, to be honest, personally, myself. I didn't pause. we had such a we already had that connection before. So we just continued and we were very close. And the guy loved God. He would be sending me things, links that were helping me. No, I don't know.
Your
Next thing
helper.
I know, I realized that the angel was actually a situationship. The angelic connection. We're really close. We're best friends. We talk every second.
So what happened?
I just realized when I just woke up one day, I realized I was in this situationship.
And then what
The
happened?
veil.
So I started to, I think I didn't recognize too when emotions were building up. We're just always talking. There was never a, would you be my girlfriend? Or are we dating and stuff? And then one day, I'd already even fallen for this guy. And then one day I just looked at him. I was like, wait. Yoma,
Wake up.
what are you
Wake up.
doing? What are
Wake
you
up,
doing?
wake up.
And I'm like, yo, what's up?
What are we doing?
And then, you know when you're talking to somebody and their eyes are shifty? And he wasn't really looking like the same person. And he was shifty. I could tell that there were emotion, definitely, that he had emotion. That's why it was easy for me to be drawn to him because I was responding to his own emotions, right? But he wasn't ready for whatever reason to commit. So his answers were very vague. He would say things like, I love you. But there was no, I want us to be together. There was no, okay, this is how we're going to get married. There were references to getting married, but they were not steady. So there could be a, oh, you know that you're my wife. Or, hello, my madam, they here. I beg. So many, everybody, maybe there was a time we're doing some projects together and all the work, God, I feel like such a fool. Because all the workers, all the workers on sites were like, oh, Oga, madam, like when I come, I feel like a wife. But between the two of us,
Nothing was
it wasn't
defined.
steady. Nothing was clearly defined. So yeah, long story short, I had to break up with
Break up something
my
that did not start up.
situationship.
Ah.
I'm telling you. So
Something that never started, you broke up.
yeah, but I had to tell him that we couldn't be as close as we were.
If there was nothing
Yeah,
going
if
to
there was no form of commitment.
Sorry,
That was when
I
I
asked-
saw
I
his
had-
Did you
KJ.
Did you ask him for commitment? Like, did you say
Yeah, I
you
kept
wanted
saying to him that I don't understand
What's
what is going on.
clearly?
And this guy is so good. He's not going to give you a see, don't worry. He's not going to give you. He's not going to say, oh, I'm not ready. Or no, he's just going to be. I cannot explain it. It happened to me, but I cannot explain it. Me that it happened to. But I also know that when I'm saying something, he'll be like, oh, that he really loves me. And he really loves me. And he really, really loves me.
So he just, but he just would not
But he's
commit.
not
He
saying,
just
okay,
wouldn't
let's
say-
date. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not going to now hold you like this and say I'm your boy, I'm your girlfriend, and that you're my, do you understand? So he's like, Yoma, I love you. I really love you, Yoma. Yoma, I've never met anyone that I've been this drawn to.
So
Okay.
Okay. Then the next thing, you know this TV thing that when you're watching TV in those days, that the screen now be black and yeah, that's how it goes after a while. And so one day I called him up and I'm like, yo, I've tried
Can't
for
do
you in
this
life.
no more.
Yeah, I said let's call it. And then he got emotional.
How did you feel
Like-
about that?
Oh, everybody cried. And
Oh.
everybody.
I mean, that would have just.
It was really hard.
I don't understand.
That
So
cannot be
what
hard.
was he crying for?
No. I'm
the
not,
solution-
wait. No. You guys don't get
Wait,
it. See,
okay.
listen,
Let's see.
you are missing the everybody cried part because you see, he was in a place where he was attached to her. He loved her. They had emotional connections.
But
They
I'm with you on
listen.
this one.
Listen. It was connection, but
But-
commitment is hard.
So why? Maybe
Why?
someone can help me tonight.
Because- no.
But I don't really care anymore because. Well, maybe someone can help people that want to. Because after that day,
So the question we should
if you
ask.
send me hello, 2 seconds after, if you're not saying anything, I'm friend zoned you. Me myself by myself.
Okay, so you learned from that.
Instantly.
I know, but
All the people
that
close
could
to
be
me
your
and my
trauma
brothers.
speaking.
Yes.
It could be, but if you're not saying anything, we're friends. You're my brother in the Lord.
Oh, wesh.
Yeah, because that guy was a very good person to have. No, I'm serious. Like even where I am in my faith journey today, he contributed. a
So
great
he was
deal
an
to it.
encouragement,
So,
yeah?
Yeah. So I feel bad that I had to lose that friendship. So if I look back, I would have. I don't like that he's not in my life now. Because I know the value he brought in. I know the things that I learned, from him. He's a very wise guy. So, I for brother Zonam. Today, I would have a brother anytime I need.
in your corner, right?
I have tons of questions.
Oh, yeah, start.
Okay, before you ask, wait, let me take comments. On the comment section on YouTube, you guys please put the one on Facebook up on the screen. YouTube says, okay, Henry says, yeah, I'm back. Queen Debbie says, good evening. And she says, gentlemen, KJ, they move mic. Abi, he likes Yoma. Abi, na me the sittings.
So who is this person?
The names have been changed to protect the innocent. Queen Debbie. He said, no definition, Kai. So the guy was drunk in love or not? Do you understand? So they are trying to check what exactly was going on. Henry said, not every guy has the courage to speak up, and rejection and heartbreak is real. So the guy, the heartbreak is real.
Okay, I think
the heartbreak is real.
I remember the reason. Sorry, I forgot that part. I just remembered now as he said this thing. Okay, so I think his last relationship after, if I had dated him before,
the last relationship,
when I had a boyfriend.
Yes.
So after that, he then dated someone after waiting for a while for me to. Of course, I'm not going to leave my boyfriend for anybody.
Yeah.
He then dated someone, and it was traumatic. So I think that was the issue.
So where's the place of understanding the guy?
So there was because I remember that there were like constant complaints about the person that he dated. He just like before, about his last relationship.
Yes,
so
if
she did this, and you could see the deep pain.
Exactly.
Deep. So I think that.
So it means that situationship, part of the reason situationships occur is because people are afraid to commit. And the reason they're afraid to commit is
It's
because
because of
they
past
have trauma from their past
No,
relationships.
that's one reason.
No, I'm
That's
just
one
giving.
reason.
I'm
Yes.
just following the flow of
Yes,
thoughts
yes.
to say, based on this story,
On this story,
this is one reason.
Yeah.
So there's the fear of commitment, and part of the fear of commitment is past trauma.
Past emotional trauma,
Yeah.
past emotional wounds. You've just addressed two of them. I'll mention a few of the others, and then we continue. KJ, you can come with your questions. So another one is busy lifestyles. Even though, as far as I'm concerned, this is an excuse.
See, that
That does not make any sense. Wanting companionship without the pressure of a relationship, and then one or both parties unsure of what they want. So while they're still deliberating, they just, let's keep things open. More like keep my options open. Yeah, she's there. Okay, we're getting closer. All right. Yeah, let's be getting closer. Hopefully soon I'll decide what exactly I want to do, but let's be going.
Wow.
Right?
So they are deciding about what they want to do with someone
Exactly.
while in the person's life.
Yes.
I feel like people
that's
who
so-
you see that part where it says trying to get the benefit of being. I feel like people like that are very much selfish.
But do they know that they are being
That
selfish?
you're trying to get the benefit,
benefit-
without the pressure.
Yes, without the pressure. You're just thinking about yourself.
Of course
Okay,
they
so
don't.
this is me speaking up for single guys, like guys in general, like defender of the men. Do you think that they know that they are being selfish, or do you think that they reason it that, well, the girl may also be getting benefits? So I mean, like, we are in this together. It's not like
I think that's why we have like a broken world, right? So this whole concept, this whole idea that people have, and let's say you're in a relationship and you're committed, and then people are like, this person that you're dating, do you know whether he's even that? Do you understand? Having that kind of mindset is why we have a broken world, because we keep transferring the negative
Yes.
instead of stopping it. So if there's a negative cycle, I'm meant to stop it. I'm meant to say, okay, no, this is not going to continue from here. And maybe when I do that, other people realize, oh, there are better ways to do this. Do you understand? So even if they do not know, it's a toxic way to live as a world. Do you understand? And I think that's one thing that needs to be addressed in relationships. There are a lot of toxic mindsets that have been passed
yes.
from one person to another. So you know what I decided? Anything that's negative, someone does something to me, I'm not going to do it to another person.
fantastic.
That's one of my decisions in life.
Very
In
true.
fact, it is most times the things that have been done to me, and I saw how it felt. That's how I built some of my values.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel good. So I don't want to be the one that is now producing this same thing in someone else's. Do you understand?
Yeah.
This is fantastic. I actually want to pose a question to
Okay.
you from online, and the question actually jumps on what Yoma just shared about her own position.
Okay.
Queen Debbie says, the thing I don't get is why do people base their old chapter with a new chapter? Help a sister understand though, because I'm confused. Why do people base the old chapter? You are trying to get into a new chapter, but you are building that new chapter you get into based off an old chapter. So help a sister here,
Yeah,
and you can also help the brothers while you're at it.
Yeah, I think it's just that stuff you talked about.
Oh,
Don't
the
go
trauma.
into
Okay.
a new relationship without
Closing the old
resolving
one.
the old one and
Properly.
closing the door.
Yeah.
Yes, if you don't, because that resolution, part of it is sitting down to say what went wrong. Why are we breaking up in the first place? What did I do wrong? What did you do wrong? What can we do better next time? Do you understand? And you discuss that, and you walk away with your bag of wisdom, right, that you can now apply in the next relationship. So rather than coming into that relationship with, this is what I experienced, I was this hurt, this person was bad, so that means everybody is bad. Do you understand? You come in and you realize we both acknowledged our flaws and our faults.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And you come into this relationship and give this person the chance to prove themselves, either to be good or also to be bad. Do you understand? Rather than you labeling the person. And when you come with an open mind, but with the wisdom of the past, then you are able to relate with this new person with I don't want to use the word that came to my mind, but you're able to relate with them objectively. And when you see certain things, you can, yes, do your comparisons, but you will not just conclude on certain things. So for instance, what I would have expected would be that, okay, he had this trauma. What did he learn from that? And that in this relationship with you, you people should be able to discuss the trauma and his fears. So rather than him just telling you, I love you, I love you, I love you, he should be able to say, I love you, I love you, I love you, but from this past relationship, this is what I experienced. I also loved and loved and loved her, but this is what she did to me in the end. And I am afraid to commit to you because I fear that you probably would do the same thing she did, which would now give you the opportunity to say, but this is me, this is who I am, this is why I cannot do that to you, or why I would not even, it's not even a matter of, it's something I could not possibly do. And then you guys discuss and come to the place where he has enough comfort to now ask for a committed relationship. Do you understand? So that's what I wish happened. That part of discussing what were the fears, what's the anxiety, what's the trauma. Do you understand? So that you don't now label. Do you understand? Learn from your past experiences, but don't superimpose the negativity in this new one. Don't assume, don't carry the profile of the last person who hurt you and overlay it on this person. You know how you just, in all these movies now, you want them to chase somebody else. You use technology and carry their image, your image, and put it on that person, and they are chasing the person so that you can do what you want. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So don't carry the profile of the last person and plaster it on every other female if you are a guy. And if you are a lady, don't carry the profile of the guy who broke your heart and plaster it on every new guy who comes into your life. It's things like that cause all this labeling. All men are scum. All men are this. All women are this.
Like gold
All
diggers.
this. Do you understand? Exactly. So don't do that. It's not a
So
good
there's
thing
something
to do.
I want to PK. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's something that I noticed that guys.
Yeah.
Is that when you were speaking, I was just remembering because you were saying maybe if we had discussed. I think sometimes some of them don't want to even discuss because they feel that if they discuss with you, you will try to convince. They're afraid to be convinced because they feel that you're lying. And I've noticed this. So when it comes to women, women get traumatized, but they tend to heal. But men, it's so deep. So there's someone else I just remembered that we actually dated. but it was just tainted with a lot of trauma. Like, there was this day I was going to his house, and then as I was going to his house, somebody was trying to speak to me, and me, I was feeling like a good girlfriend. I was like, no, don't talk to me. The guy was driving a very nice car. So I got on a bike, and I drove to my boyfriend's house. And then I picked up the phone and I called my boyfriend, like, come and open the gate. And this guy comes to open the gate, and I did not know that all this while this other guy was following me. But he comes and then he sees the guy, and he gets really upset. And in my head, that doesn't make sense. This is trauma. Because you can see clearly that I did not even notice that the guy was there. I'm not going to call you to come and open the gates so that you can see another guy that is... If I was really trying to do back door or do runs behind the scenes, maybe I will hide it. Why would I pick the phone, call you, hello, come and open the gate, and then you now come, you now find somebody that I'm really trying to be stupid with? And I realized that, guys, their trauma is so deep that sometimes, I'm trying not to be disrespectful, but sometimes things that don't even make sense.
No.
They now tend to think in those lines, right? Because of the pain. So when you were saying that maybe if we had spoken about it, I noticed that someone like that, my ex, right, is someone that even if you speak, the trauma is so. So what is speak it, please? What's the way out? Like what's
So for guys, we don't. I see it as we have a lot of expectations from us. And
from women or from
yes, from women, not just from women, God save, even the society and all of that, but in this context, from women. And that's one. Two, I feel like some women, let me not generalize, some women are not really trained to handle men speaking. Men speak, okay? We want to talk, but I feel like some women are not equipped enough to handle the trauma guys would throw at them. Because if men do not talk, when they go for bars with their fellow guys,
then they gist.
We talk about the
We
pain.
talk from sense to nonsense.
From sense to nonsense. Because we know that it's like we have shared,
yes.
do you understand? So I can
Shared experiences.
Shared experiences. I can speak my pain and the guy will be like, Baba, I feel you. That's the way they talk. I understand.
I reason them.
Do you understand? This is how you can go about it. But for ladies, we tell you our problems now. Chances are that you definitely will use it against us in the nearest future. It's our biggest fear, whether you like it or not.
All women are not like that.
No, all women are not like that. But it's a fact you cannot run away from. So
yes.
I think what needs to happen is that the women need to understand that sometimes if we don't share, it's not because we don't want to share. It's because we don't want to arm you with weapons you can use against us.
Because before now, it has happened.
Do you understand? So going back to that question that was asked online, you can find that the truth is I've had this issue in my past. If I'm coming into a new relationship, that fear that maybe, perhaps, per chance or some way, it will happen again is there. So, which is why we keep talking about relationships over and over again. And we're saying that, hey, the time has come for people, if you want to have a real relationship, you have to be able to have difficult conversations. That's how real relationships are forged. They are forged in the fire of difficult conversations. If it's a real relationship. Like I said before, I said, see, if what you are looking for is cruise or good time, you are not the one I'm talking to. You get? You are not the one I'm talking to. But if what you are looking for is real relationships, then what we are saying is that you have to have difficult conversations. And sometimes these difficult conversations will not actually be so difficult if everybody puts their cards on the table.
On the table, yes.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
They won't be so difficult. But because everybody is fencing, so I give everybody is fencing. And by fencing, I mean, I will say this one and then I'll check.
I'll check, yes.
If she respond like this, I'll go just
I'll hold my side.
If she respond like, okay, then I'll go check. So there's a lot of fencing going on. And because of that, and those fences, those bridges, those blocks, are all created from the traumas of past
Of the past,
relationships.
yeah.
So it means that if we're going to have a healthy relationship, you need to be healed from a past sickness,
yeah.
of a failed relationship. Do you understand? You need to be healed from a past sick relationship. Now, if something my wife said, if you break up with someone, I don't have a problem with relationships breaking up. I always say
Failed relationship.
a failed relationship is better than a failed
Feel
marriage.
marriage, true.
Do you understand? So if we break up at the relationship stage before we get into marriage, is fine. But for every relationship that breaks up, you must do an end of life. What went wrong? What do you understand? And now somebody said something here that I want to piggyback on to say the last thing I want to say. He said the thing is I don't get why. No, not that one. I think it was Ubong. He said Ubong says sometimes. Sorry, Ukpono Anthony. Sorry, Ukpono Anthony says sometimes people enter a connection without discussing what they want. Okay, they enter a relationship without discussing whether it's a serious relationship or just companionship. The lack of clarity often leads to a situationship. Then he adds KJ and T-Boy knows what I'm saying. Ukpono Anthony, I don't know if you know him. He said, do you understand? So my point is that lack of clarity about what we're doing, right? Because of that lack of clarity, whatever we do in this situation that we did not define, whatever we do can actually hurt a defined relationship from materializing or maturing into its full potential.
Yeah.
Because we didn't define. So a lot of times we didn't define, we get hurt, and then we now use it as a yardstick for a relationship that's even defined. That is even
but
defined.
okay,
I think it's a good time to take
yeah.
some more of the comments. Let's see what's happening in the comments section.
Say women play too much in relationship. You know this is. Please, can they upload my the Facebook comment so I can read those ones. I think I've handled. Okay, so situationships. These are those undefined or loosely defined romantic connections. They happen for several reasons. Here are the most common one: unclear intentions. So this is someone just echoing what we have said. Yeah, someone just echoing what we have said.
Yeah, just something that situationships creates, and that's when you look at the part where you have not said clearly what exactly people are doing, is that you can't create the right boundaries.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Because okay, if you're just my friend, there's certain things I expect of you, and there are certain things you should not even ask of me. We're just friends. Do you understand? But then when you haven't defined what your relationship is, you don't know what boundary to observe. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So you may be thinking, oh, I just lost somebody in a relationship that you have not defined with this person, and it seems we really love each other. I'm expecting their maximum support. Like you expect them to follow you home to your family, to help to make arrangements for burial and stuff, because you're thinking this is the one person that is really close to me. And the guy is looking at it like, oh, okay, maybe I can contribute along with the office contribution. And you are worried.
Wow.
You are angry because you're like,
Wow.
why? But
Wow.
you're supposed to stand by me. But the guy is thinking, on what basis are you expecting that from me? Do you understand?
Oh my God.
So it just blurs the lines. In fact, there are no lines. So anybody can expect anything, and anybody can fail to meet those expectations, because as far as they're concerned, you shouldn't be expecting that. So that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem with the situation.
So there's something that you both said, right? That after every relationship, there should be a conversation, right? To understand the relationship. So I think that most people that have trauma came from situations where they did not have the opportunity.
Because
so
you
there are many
always
relationships where have you seen relationships where there's no access,
there's no room for
closure? Like I've had to tell people sit down and serve yourself closure. Like, I have people that are looking for closure up and down. Like, I'm like, yo, like, you can...
When
like,
you say
they've been
looking
in
for closure,
situations
as in
where
they are trying to get the guy to talk about it.
Yes, and the person
But the person don't block you everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think most of the trauma comes... I've heard stories,
Yeah, I've not actually.
Yo, I've heard stories that people were in a relationship, before they close eye, open eye, relationship don't end.
And you
And
can't
the
get the
door
person
was shut.
The person has blocked you. So you don't
And
know.
you're just
what-
wondering
Yes,
why.
what happened?
What
I
happened?
don't
What's the
understand.
reason?
Why? I told you guys about someone that, we had not started dating, in fairness, but I shared a story about someone who I was pretty close to. And after a while, we're trying to date, and then... And I tried everything, and at some point, you're now looking almost desperate. Most times, all I want to know is what happened. If you want to go, someone else will come. People have come and gone, and eventually someone else will stay permanently. But my own is, I usually want to know what is going on. Omo, if not that, God helped me, it was like a year after. And this person now told me what I already knew was the reason why I should not even have been in the relationship myself. And he just did the right thing. But he didn't communicate, and he didn't give access to communicate. He didn't block me. He was there, but I couldn't know what happened. So a lot of people are in that situation. So I'm wondering, is that why? Could that be why
Closure.
there is like a lot of toxic, like, cause...
I don't think, I personally, well, maybe, but I don't think the culture of closure is really emphasized in this country.
Yeah.
Because I myself, for one, I don't think I've ever had.
When you now try, because I have a friend that loves closure. I have to sit her down and say, "See, this is your love for closure."
I
She's
never
not
done before.
moving on from things because she's still trying to. I'm like, yo, the world is moving. Let's be going.
I never do closure
So my
before.
own is for people who even believe in closure, but they never get it.
How do they
How
know?
can we help them?
So you're saying that me and like this, I'm a bag of trauma.
No, that's in you have plenty. Don't worry.
You don't care for the closure.
I don't see the need. It ended. Jamalo, let's be going.
Yeah, but you see, that's so something about it, and since we're talking about situationship, right? Something about it is that the moment, and that's something we don't pay attention to. The way the human spirit is designed, we are designed to rub off on each other. The human spirit. It's like like people will say, oh, it's just forces, that's why I say, oh, I like your vibe. I walked into somewhere when I was in China, I walked into a place and a lady it was a bus. I was sitting and she walked into the bus and then she looked around. There are other people in the bus. Then she just came and sat down with her friend and she says, your aura is very strong and is very good. I like your so the word she used was aura.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So, but we will call them sensitivity. You are being sensitive.
Energy.
We'll call it vibe.
Energy.
We'll call it energy. But that's what the human experience is. So we are first spirit having a physical experience. And so the moment you are situated in any kind of location, whether it is an emotional location or physical location, with anybody, you will rub off on each other. There will be interaction. Do you understand? There will be interaction. There will be a relationship. And I mean anybody. And that's why you will find out and you'll be thinking, how possible is it for somebody to be attracted to their captor? I think there's a name it's called, something syndrome. I will remember the name. But there's a name it's called that somebody captures or kidnaps somebody. But by virtue of their being in...
You now fall in love with
you
the person.
fall in love with the
I've
person.
forgotten the name, but I know what you're talking about.
Do you understand? Do you understand? So because it looks like it's no, it's not possible. No, but so in fact there are some people you say I can never. By the time you are located or situated with them for some time or for some season, Stockholm syndrome. Thank you very much.
Is that chat?
Of course.
Chat is working for us. Do you understand? So when that happens, because of the way we are wired as human beings, it tells you that if you spend time with anybody in any form, whether it is emotional, whether it is locational, however it is, affections, interactions, relations, it will grow. And what happens is the moment you leave the person, your experience with them does not leave you.
Yes.
So even though you've left the
yes,
person,
yes,
the experience of them does not leave you.
yes.
That's why sometimes you can still remember some of your class teacher, even though you have left them.
Yeah.
But you can remember how they influenced or affected you.
Yeah.
So that is just human nature. So for people to now be in a situationship and now assume that because I have broken up with him, he is gone. You know, when I watch romantic comedies a lot of time, I laugh when somebody says, "Oh, he's in my past. He's gone. There's nothing." But one day you are walking into a bar and you see the guy looking hot and sharp. Do you understand? And all the emotions, all the different experiences rush back, and you just begin to misbehave.
You are spitting revelation.
yes.
Sorry to cut in. Because, no. Because saying it now, I think I told you guys about this. I ran into my ex at the airport coming back. My ex that is married. And I saw her at the waiting room for our flight. And of course, when I saw her first, I tried to remove my eye and pretend I didn't see her until she called my name. I was like, KJ. I'm like, oh, okay. Hi. But that moment, this exact thing you just said, I'm like, wait, dude, I actually dated this person, right? So she went to talk to my sister and all of that because, of course, I didn't give her a nice reception and all. But me, I'm like, I think I was in a state of confusion. What's going on? There was just something I couldn't explain going on in my head. Seeing this person, we've dated. We knew each other for like 6 to 7 years. You get, worst case scenario, worst thing happened. When we boarded the flight, our seat number was almost, I'm in 9A, she's in 9, she's sitting in 9F. And when we were looking for our seat, she was like, are you sitting with me? I'm like, yo, what's up, man? What's going on? You get, so now saying this thing now, I'm like, okay.
You're okay. You're not abnormal.
I'm not abnormal, right?
Yeah, no.
Very funny. Haven't you seen all the wahala that happens when, some people say, oh, we're just doing a reunion with friends. Then you now have a reunion where this one was dating that one, then that one was dating this one. But now they've gotten married to other people and then they're all in the same house. Then somehow, some two naughty people will now decide to come and drink water in the night at the same time in the kitchen. Do you understand? So you'll be wondering, okay, and then why is it that when they bump into each other, it's not just I came to get water, all right, yeah, bye, I'm going back up, bye. No, it's always like, I came to get water, like, oh, you too, wow, isn't it really hot down here?
But
something.
But
Do you
so
understand?
it's
Why couldn't they just walk
human?
So I was saying,
Yeah.
so sorry, my question now is, we've established the fact that I'm not abnormal.
No, you're not.
Okay? I'm normal,
You
right?
didn't tell us this part that day.
What's the problem? Now, I get this part now. I'm not abnormal, right? So, how do I not feel this way? Let's say, for instance, tomorrow now, it's in church. And maybe the usher just directs me. Like, my brother, go and sit down there. And I look at her, I'm like, oh, God. You get? So, do you think closure is what solves this problem?
So
Closure helps.
Closure helps.
It helps,
Doesn't
right?
solve it.
Closure
And
helps.
I don't know if there ever comes a point where it is completely gone. I think that is something that you have to continuously build boundaries for. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I'm speaking from my experience, right? People that I have been close to before and then nothing happened from those relationships, or from those friendships, because there was none of them that we actually went out. Do you understand? If they happen to be in my space, I'm not going to assume that there's nothing to be concerned about. I'm not going to assume that they are like every other person that is in the room right now. No. I'm going to acknowledge there was something interesting about this person. There were things I liked about this person. There is a possible natural tendency to be drawn to this person. So
person,
therefore, if we happen to be in a conversation, it has to end before a certain time. And we are not going to be in the same space alone. And I'll just have those boundaries.
So, Babi, what you have just said
Yes.
is what follows the end of life of a relationship. Now, so closure is the beginning of the process.
Yeah.
After we have said, this is why this relationship had to end.
Yeah.
After we have done that, then the next steps becomes what we do going forward.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So what you have said are part of the things we do going forward.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing, there is this similar type of template that we give people that are going through an addiction.
More.
Do you understand? So
Like-
it's like one with the other person, you have had an addiction with a person. With addiction, with that person, you have an affair with the person. With addiction, you have an affair with yourself. So if we do the end of life, then we must now put certain steps in place to say, this is how I don't go back to this affair. So that's why it's very easy to go back to your ex. It's very easy.
Very easy. Yeah.
Do you understand? It's not hard because you guys have shared, you have had you have shared an experience. You have been situated together emotionally, physically, different. Do you understand? So you have an experience. So what needs to happen is that you need to end it. Now, you asked the question about a case where you didn't get the chance to get closure. Somebody said something here that I want to piggyback on. It says women play too much. No, not that one. So, okay, so let me use this question. He says, so please, I want to know, how can two people who are dating identify when they are in a situationship? I want to really know because a lot is happening with me. This person is going through a lot. Somebody said, KJ, why didn't you say blood of Jesus when they put your seat together? Timora has a personal question for you. He said, KJ, is it 6 years dating? Why didn't it work?
No, it wasn't 6 years dating. We were friends for 6 years. We dated for less than 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're friends for 6 years.
Okay. Good. So let me answer that question. In the case where you are seeking closure, but the person is not available, or the person has blocked you, or the person has closed you out, right? It means that you have to now do it on your own terms.
By
Now,
yourself.
by yourself. It's almost as if, let me use the statement. You know, when you say this person is dead to me, so that's the case. In case where you cannot, so you do it like it is like it's a bereavement. That's how you achieve that kind of closure, because you cannot get anything from them, and you cannot live your life waiting for them to come in for you to make. Do you understand? So in that kind of case, you do what? You do it with yourself. And what will help you, the questions you cannot answer because you are waiting for the other person are usually questions you did not define in the midst of the relationship. So it means that what you need to do is now bring definition for yourself to the things you left open-ended in the relationship. Because if you define certain things in the relationship, you won't be looking for answers. You will not be looking at the experience that did not materialize into those things. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But because there were no definitions, you now have to say, in my closure, I must bring definitions, because my life does not depend on this person. My identity does not depend on this person. And for this other guy that is asking for how do you know you are in a situationship? There was something that we were just gisting, and I thought, I'm coming. Any relationship that you enter into that you did not define is a situationship. It means that in my use of that definition is that both of you are just hanging out. You are just ride along. But you can see that even ride along has a definition. It means that when the ride ends, you come down.
Calm down.
So every relationship has a definition. If we are always sitting together in the office, we are colleagues. Eh? But when all we are doing in the office is sitting together, but we sit together in the office, we leave office, we go home together. We now live in the same flat. Eh? We have to start. So if we leave the office, we are right along. We get to the flat together. We are flatmates.
Flatmates.
You can see that there are definitions for everything. So if you do not define it, but you are doing all of these things, thou art in a situationship. Because if you define it, your expectation from the other person becomes valid. It becomes identifiable. Any relationship you define, the expectations become identifiable. So you will not be friends and be expecting the benefits of a marriage. That's another level of this situationship. The place where we are dating, like KJ. It has reached 6 years. As in we are dating. No, your own. So that's the question the person was asking. So we are dating, and the thing has reached 6 years, and we are still dating. That one is no longer a date; it's a calendar.
Correct.
Do you understand?
It's a season.
So it's a season, actually. It means you are in a situationship.
All right.
That's a situationship.
It's in a situationship where you are dating, and
dated
you are
for
not
10 years.
Well,
What were you doing there?
I watched one movie. Interestingly, I had to confess to my wife. I just came back from a trip, and the place where I went to, the only channel that they had in this thing, when I'm not watching news, was Showcase. Was this African Magic Showcase? And it's only Nigerian movie that shows. So I had to confess to my wife, me that doesn't like Nigerian movie, I actually watched one Nigerian movie.
And he came and was gisting me.
And I came and was gisting her.
He had the guts to gist me about Nigerian
movie. Because I know she's at it. But in this particular, what caught my attention was that they have been dating and living together for 10 years. And they are not married. So in my mind, I was thinking to myself, okay, 10 years. What are you guys looking for? Are you trying to mine gold? What are you?
Even gold, safe.
So for me, I feel like if you have to date for that long and you cannot get married, then something is wrong. So just break up. Like when you break up, just break up. And what's the reason for the breakup? Something is wrong.
I think it's a mental problem.
I honestly think so. My problem with this, is somebody can ask me and say, but what if they didn't want to get married? And usually when they do some of these things, they give some annoying examples. Like somebody will say, is marriage the ultimate? Marriage is not the ultimate. But listen, why I know there is a problem and there is a situationship is that when the guy broke up with her, he married somebody else not long after. So it means that he had marriage as a plan. So it won't be a case of you're saying, maybe they didn't want to get married. No. The guy wanted to get married, just not to you. So you need to find out.
So you were a placeholder.
Yes. So you need to find out, what am I doing here?
Until
Cooking
you found
food, dressing bed,
who he wanted,
keeping him warm,
until you left,
giving him
and
all
then
the
he
benefits.
now found who he wanted.
So he had the cow. He didn't need to pay for
the milk. I want to really pick back what you said, right, and then connect it.
He
to
was
what
getting
PK
everything
just
for
said.
free, so no point.
So what you said earlier and what PK just said, that you were saying that one of the problems with relationships is situationships rather, is that anybody can do anything. Like there are no boundaries, right? That also happens in this crazy long
Relationship, yes.
Because if you've dated someone for so long, you've dated for 10 years, 11 years, you're not...
If you check 10 years, 11 years, you people are already sleeping with each other. You people are
Of course,
doing
they're
everything.
already
In fact, maybe you have 1, 2, 3 children already. Do you understand? But you just...
That's where they start losing the boundaries.
For
so
me,
even the boundaries they had before, they are getting weak because of the time.
there's no boundary.
There was
just
no
leave that
boundary in the
in.
first place.
So, it's just a pity for the women who allow themselves to be in that kind of situation. Because that guy can just get up and walk out
But
of your
sometimes
life.
it's the men men, it's
and
the women
leave
doing
you.
it
The
as
women,
well.
yes.
I know, but
yeah.
I'm speaking for women,
For women.
right now, because if a guy is in your life, no definition, he's getting all the benefits from you. He can just pick up and leave, and
Yes.
you can't hold him for anything because
Yeah.
people were not married.
Yeah.
I also have the experience of the woman on to share that the reason why she didn't want to get married, they've been dating for 2 or 3 years. Yeah, they've been serious, an item for 3 years. The reason she didn't want to get married is because she said with marriage, she didn't want to lose her baby girl status.
Status, yeah.
You understand? She didn't want to do. She didn't. With marriage, with marriage with marriage will come the demand for you to have children.
Yes.
But if we're just dating, if we're just this thing, you can still say he's my boyfriend, and even if something comes in, you know what to do.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And so, but these are not healthy relationships.
Yeah, that's it.
These are not healthy relationships. And relationships that are healthy are the relationships that we are talking about.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So if you want healthy relationship, then
You have to define them.
You have to
say
define
exactly
them.
what
You have to
at
say
what stage
exactly.
are you? What are the expectations?
what are we doing
What
here?
to do, what not to do.
What are
All
we
right,
doing here?
so that's where we'll wrap it up for today.
Is it already 1 hour?
Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us, being with us on the show. And thanks for your comments, your contributions, your questions.
Baby,
And
I'm just
thanks
rushing this thing.
to
Has
my
it reached?
wonderful
has it reached 1 hour?
husband
Hey.
for sharing pearls of wisdom. Thanks, Yoma, for bringing your real life experiences to share with all of us. Thanks, KJ, for the plain gist. That was cool. And yes, thanks to our team for keeping the show going and making everything work. Yes, so see you all next time. And remember, like we always say, common sense
Is not so common.
Bye.
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 Bye.